if everything is working well and not funky for a while, for the time being, I'm just going to share the link for the stream. Hoping for no hiccups, and also for my arms to be long enough to be able to reach. Alright. Gonna load the data then. Gonna be continuing then with just gonna make sure that I don't have anything open that I actually need to make sure that the Wi-Fi isn't funky or anything. Alright. Hope everything works fine. So last time we played, alright, first of all, I'm using a microphone, so I'm gonna probably be a little weird and it's gonna be, whoops, a little bit funky and different from last time, but hopefully everything should be working fine. If the audio or anything doesn't work, let me know. And I'll fiddle around with Streamlabs, see how everything works out, because this is of course my first stream with a microphone. And last time we played, we finished in an hour the first chapter of the game. It was a little bit of a speed run because of course I've already finished this game before. And yeah, the stream upload is up on YouTube to be able to watch it again as a video on demand. After each chapter, the fun thing is that you get to do a challenge, which is like a particularly difficult operation or series of operations non-stop, in which the vitals of the previous patient carry through to the next one. This is not a mode I particularly like, and especially now that I'm still warming up for the next part of the game, but maybe later on we can probably try doing like a couple challenges in a row. So we're gonna start the second episode. Last time we finished the part where they are in Alaska, and now they're going to be returning to their original hospital, basically. Which is the Concordia Medical Institute in Los Angeles.
Oh, how embarrassing. I can't believe I forgot it on my first day back. Oh, good morning, Marcus.
Morning. What are you doing out here? Aren't you going in?
I got stopped because I forgot my ID.
I gotta say, Valerie is my absolute favorite character in this entire game. Like, even to this day, I still really enjoy her character and character development, especially her background, which you will find out about later on.
I told them to call Billy at the reception desk, but he doesn't
They
work
do
here
give
anymore.
the characters a lot more personality in this game, and I think they really learned a lot from Trauma Center's Second Opinion, in which, to my taste, the game does have characters which can be a little bit bland, but I just generally prefer this game a lot more.
Well, it's been 3 years, so I can't say I'm surprised. All right, I'll go straighten things out.
Thanks.
My, you're here early, Dr.
Dickhead.
Bond.
It's just like the first moment he appears, just dickhead energy.
Hey, Dr. Russo. It's been a long time.
Hello, Dr. Blaylock. How was Montgomery Memorial?
It's just the way his voice actor talks is so irritating, no matter what.
Well, it was certainly challenging.
I have to admit, I was quite envious when I heard that you were going. I mean, who wouldn't want a chance to get in touch with nature?
Fuck you, man.
I heard that you became chief surgeon. Congratulations.
Ah, thank you. Of course, that was 6 months ago.
Just learn to take a compliment, man.
Sorry, I've been a little out of the loop.
Think nothing of it. I understand completely. After all, you were quite far from civilization. Oh, by the way, Professor Wilkins is expecting you to. He's waiting in his office on the 5th floor.
All right, we'll go see him.
I wonder why they asked you to return, seeing as how you've made little progress on your research. This hospital must be busier than I thought. I hope you two live up to your reputations. Well then, if you'll excuse me.
I see he's still as charming as
Damn
ever.
right, Val.
At least you know what to expect from him.
It's
Dr.
Professor
Wilkins?
Wilkins.
Ah,
With this
Welcome back.
weird monocle for some reason in the year 250 something, I think. I can't even remember what year this game is supposed to be in. Who even uses a monocle anymore?
I've been waiting for you for quite some time.
Yeah, it took me a while to decide. Have you been bedridden?
This disease can be debilitating, but the symptoms haven't progressed that far just yet. I'm in better spirits than I look. In fact, I even make the rounds occasionally. Of course, that's only for the time being.
What's this disease you're referring to?
Relax, my dear. The symptoms have temporarily subsided. Once I've made the necessary arrangements, I'll explain my situation in greater detail. After all, this is a confidential matter, even within these walls.
It's a secret?
Yes. You could say that I am both a patient as well as a research subject. For now, I'd like you to resume your normal duties. I'm sure Rousseau will find something for you to do.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Well, we'll get to work then. Call if you need anything.
Marcus, you went against my orders and ran off to Alaska. But in the end, you were forced to return here. I won't reproach you, as long as you accept your fate.
Is that what you want me to do?
Indeed.
Radio silence.
Hi, Dr.
She's
Blaylock.
so cute. I didn't get the chance to say it in the previous stream because of course I had no microphone on, but she's so cute and so happy. I love her.
Oh, hello, Elena. Are you starting today?
Yes, I am. I actually just returned from a brief vacation.
I need to hurry up and get back into the swing of things here. And it's hard because there are so many new faces.
Valerie, are you in? We've got an operation to perform.
Are you
Already?
serious?
Russo took the liberty of volunteering us. Nice guy, huh? I have a feeling this is just a taste of what's to come.
All right, I'll go prep. Elena, can you assist?
Definitely. I'll start setting up immediately.
Alright, let's see what the operation briefing is. Dwayne Mayfield. Tumors have formed inside the left lung. The pus must be drained and the tumors extracted. Doesn't seem too difficult.
Allow me to begin the briefing for today's operation. Well,
Oh, am I making you nervous? Just pretend I'm
The
not.
way he talks, I can't stand the way he talks. It's so bad.
Please continue, Elena.
It's so annoying.
the patient is suffering from a putrefactive lung abscess due to Staphylococcus
Basically has
aureus.
a lot of shit inside his lungs.
Both the x-rays as well as the CAT scan support this diagnosis. You have two objectives for this operation. Look for a shadow using the ultrasound, make an incision, and drain the pus.
That has to hurt, right? Like, basically having your lungs being filled with pus, just essentially just dead infection.
And of course, excise the tumor that's causing the problem.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Dr. Rousseau?
Oh no, I'll merely be observing.
We'll try not to disappoint you.
Even though in the first episode you don't really need to choose a particular surgeon for any reason, but I just really like playing as Valerie.
Well then,
I
let's
thought she
start
was
the
really
procedure.
cool when I was younger, and I wanted to be just like her.
Let's begin the operation. We'll show Dr. Rousseau why we're here.
Some life goop into him, and there's the first mistake. Cool. Good to know my skills are as sharp as ever.
It's festering. We need to drain the pus.
Otherwise, it could lead to inflammation.
There it is.
It looks like there's a tumor. I recommend a towel procedure.
Gonna take care of them both at the same time.
It may begin to fester once the tumor's been removed, so please be careful.
One
We need to
and
drain. Doctor, it's becoming
two.
inflamed. You should inject some anti-inflammatory.
Close the big holes inside him so he can actually breathe. And get rid of these. Over here, there we go.
So far, so
Yeah,
good.
I wonder what could possibly go wrong.
But according to the diagnostics,
You
the
can actually
affected
see
area
down
may
here
be
that there's
larger
more
than it
pus
appears.
accumulating.
We need to use the magnification.
Looks like the diagnostics were correct. We've got more work to do.
Get rid of the pus first. There it is.
Well done, Doctor.
Here. Very much appreciated, Elena. There it is. There it is. Let's get rid of this one first, since it's quite within range of vision. I've always found the sound effects of this game, in particular, to be a little bit too much. It's just blasting all over the place.
Don't forget to treat the affected area.
And they're especially loud when they're talking. And if you start making lots of negative, you have a very long chain, it starts getting very annoying very fast. There's the top of the lung. I cannot see what I'm doing. Hurry up.
That seems to be the last one.
There we go.
His vitals have stabilized. Now let's close him up.
Just close this bad boy. La-di-da-di-da. There we go.
Looks like the procedure wasn't.
Woo! Still have it. By the way, hello, Mrs. Fantastic. Thank you for joining the stream. Always a pleasure to have peeps joining.
Well, Dr. Vaughn, I see that you haven't allowed yourself to get...
Of course not. I've been playing this game ever since it came out in 2008.
Surprised.
Well, you could have suffered from frostbite. Ah, yes. I must explain our new post-op procedures. Things have changed since you left. The chart needs to be supplied on the second floor, and surgeons are required to attend a case review session every Tuesday morning. However, we won't be needing you there just yet. I'll call for you when it's deemed necessary.
Oh my god, I always forget the word for someone who treats you as if you were an absolute moron for no reason. I know it starts with P, but I genuinely cannot remember what the word is. And I always remember because I always seem to forget what the word is. Oh my god.
Well then,
But that's how
excuse
he
me.
makes me feel.
Thank you.
Alright. That's the first chapter. Oh my god! This is my favorite chapter. Before I knew what speedrunning was, I would speedrun this particular operation. And I kind of know most of the dialogue off by heart. It's just the cutest one, and it's also a good first glimpse into how Valerie really is.
We'll be implanting a pacemaker?
Yes. You'll be performing an exchange operation to upgrade the one currently inside the patient. You'll also be performing the pre-op examination on her.
Why us and not a cardiologist?
That's a good point.
Because I believe you two are better suited to perform the
Isn't
procedure.
a cardiologist supposed to spend most of their medicine degree specializing in being good at this? It doesn't really make sense, does it?
A team of specialists will be available to assist you, but I doubt that will be necessary.
It seems they're expecting a lot from us, but you wouldn't know it by the way the staff's treating us.
This can be considered as a preparation phase for the actual operation. An appropriate pacemaker has already been selected. You'll be implanting the same type I'm currently using.
The same pacemaker you're using?
Are you sure it's not gonna hurt?
Chloe!
You'll be fast asleep the entire time. It'll be over before you know
What
it.
if I wake up? Will it hurt?
But what if I wake up? Will it hurt?
You'll wake up because you'll get hungry.
I promise that won't happen. The medicine will keep you asleep, no matter what.
If it's gonna keep me asleep, then how will I wake up? Will I sleep
Here it
forever?
comes.
Well, you'll wake up because you'll get hungry.
I just think this is a really important scene, and it's really good character development. And I just feel like the way they treat Chloe is really, really sweet.
Chloe, you heard that your heart isn't doing well, right? Right now you're okay because doctors put a machine in you that helps your heart. But we found out that machine isn't working like it should. So if we don't put in a new machine, your chest is going to hurt. You don't want your chest to hurt, do you?
No.
This poor kid has already had an open heart, well, not an open heart obviously, but like a big surgery to open her chest and implant a pacemaker. Now she has to change it. And this kid is very strong.
Alright then, the operation is going to be tomorrow. Let's both do our best.
Come on, Chloe. Let's go back to your room. Don't worry. There's nothing to be scared about. You'll be all better real soon.
Opening up a child's chest for the
Just
second
how I
time.
feel, Val. Just how I feel.
As a doctor, I know I shouldn't be fazed by it, but it's still heartbreaking.
This operation has nothing to do with the professor's orders. Let's just concentrate on doing our best for that kid, okay?
I'm not lying. It really hurts. Come on, there must be something you can do.
I'm sorry, but we didn't find anything wrong when we examined you.
That medication I used before seemed to help. How about some more of that?
As I said before, I can't write you a prescription. Dr. Vaughn, can you please help me explain to this patient?
Me, Dr. Chen?
He won't listen to reason. And I refuse to write him a prescription. He's just pretending to be in pain because he's addicted to painkillers.
Do I want to remember this guy's
What?
face, though?
Are you calling me a liar?
Oh, I ain't calling you a truther.
Forget it. I'm out of here.
What does he think this is? A street corner? He was wandering around, so I offered to help him. The first thing he said was, I need drugs.
How did he get in?
I don't know, but I should report him to security. By the way, Dr. Vaughn, I heard that you're conducting a pacemaker procedure today.
That's right. Since I'm the new guy, I have no choice but to
I
follow
love
orders.
this sprite in particular when she's smirking. I want to have this kind of energy.
I suppose that's true. Well, good luck. If all goes well, I'd like to ask you to be my assistant.
I'll do my best to live up to those expectations.
Does everyone treat him like shit? Patient's Chloe Nichols, pacemaker exchange operation. Since the patient is a child, a quick procedure is necessary to minimize the trauma. Let's begin the conference for little Chloe.
Let's begin the conference for little
Please
Chloe.
do.
Please do.
Your objective for this operation is to replace the patient's pacemaker. First, you'll have to stop the old pacemaker. Then, remove it and insert the
I
new
already know
one.
this operation off by heart, literally.
This operation will require great precision and will put a lot of strain on the patient's body. Please proceed with the utmost care.
Of course. This is a very serious operation.
She's only a child, so even a small mistake could be fatal.
That's true.
Well, good luck, you two.
Thank you. Just gonna bump something real quick. Whoops! No, wait, no. Alright, I want Valerie Blake, who is apparently 28, so she is only 5 years older than me. I think.
I'm ready to begin the operation.
Today, we'll be replacing the patient's pacemaker.
If I remember correctly, it's the same model as the professor's.
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look.
There's gonna be a particular moment
First,
coming up
we need
in
to
which
stop
it
her
might be a little
existing
bit
pacemaker.
annoying with the sound effects, so you might want to lower the volume for a little while, just in case.
Please be careful,
Especially because the
Doctor.
latency in my TV has been a little
Okay,
weird
good
lately.
job. Looks like you're ready to go on to the next.
Here it comes.
Doctor, the patient's going into cardiac arrest.
We can't use the defibrillator because of her pacemaker.
We'll have to massage the heart by hand.
Wait for the hands to overlap, then press the A and B buttons
Oh, they have
simultaneously.
B buttons! Oh my god.
Doctor, your timing's off. Wait until the hands are overlapping.
There we go. Alright.
Goodness, the patient has recovered.
Before I used to have a lot of problems getting the timing right because the latency was all over the place with my television. Well,
But we
looks
can't
like
relax
it's a
until
lot
we've
better
completed
now.
the operation.
There's a chance she'll go into cardiac arrest again, so keep an eye on the electrocardiogram. If that does occur, then we need to massage her heart immediately.
Understood. Well then, are you ready to remove
Yes,
the
I am.
pacemaker? Use the antibiotic gel to disinfect the air. Cut the lead attached. Cut the lead attached. Now that you've cut... Okay. Hurry up and remove... Looks like you... Now. Please place the lead on the tray. And don't... Please treat the remaining
And
wounds.
it won't let me.
False alarm. Let's continue.
Now would you please
There we
place
go.
the old... I'll get the new pacemaker ready. You can place it in the same spot as the old... Next, attach the leads to the device.
There.
The first lead is ready.
Two
Now,
buckle my
both
shoe.
leads are attached to the device. Her heart's
Stop the
fibrillating.
procedure.
Stop the procedure. She's going into cardiac arrest. That's right. Just like that. We have a pulse. Let's continue. Now that that's where the second. Let's drain the... We can't let too much... It may hemorrhage again. Okay, let's suture the slit. But remember to suture the slit, Doctor.
Here it comes. Almost done too.
Almost done, too. All right, let's massage the heart.
Alright.
Okay, we're almost done.
There we go.
Now, cross your
That's the
fingers.
pacemaker.
Let's activate the pacemaker.
There we go.
It's working properly. Should...
That's
Didn't
great
even break the
news.
sweat, baby.
So all we need to do is close her up and we'll be finished.
And there we go.
Looks like the operation was a success. Well done, Doctor. I'll be sure to report the results to the
I
professor.
think I made a single mistake, but I might be mistaken. No mistakes, 190 seconds left, max chain of at least 40 and hard massage under 40 times. Boom! That should have been an S, but whatever, I'll take it.
Chloe, this is called an X-ray. It's a picture of the inside of your chest. This is the machine we put inside you during the operation. It's helping your heart beat.
Wow, cool. That's what's
I'm
inside
a
me?
lot happier now.
It runs on electricity, so there are a few things you need to be careful about. Elena will explain the rules to you, so listen carefully, okay?
Did you see it?
Cool.
Isn't it cool? Yes, it certainly is. But don't get carried away just because you feel better, okay? Now the pacemaker that's inside your chest is like a new friend. And it's going to be with you for the rest of your
She
life.
knows. Alright. That's another chapter finished, so we're going to continue now with Dependable Pair.
How long am I gonna have to wait?
This is me every time I have to go to the hospital, honestly.
Excuse me, miss? May I ask you something?
Oh, are you here to visit a family member? If so, then the entrance is...
No, that's not why I'm here. I have an appointment with Dr. Rousseau, the chief surgeon, but no one's been able to get my message to him.
If that's the case, then let me call for his secretary.
I'm sorry to inconvenience you. Thank you, though. You are a doctor here, aren't you?
Yes, my name is Valerie Blaylock.
Is Professor Wilkins busy? I was hoping I might get a chance to meet him.
Yes. Well, the professor is... he's very busy. I rarely see him myself.
Well, I guess it can't be helped. But I'd still like to meet him someday. Ah, you must be Dr. Rousseau's secretary.
She deserved here because they couldn't be bothered to include the budget to make that sprite.
My name is Irene Quattro. I'm the director of Caduceus.
The organization under the direct control of Health and Human Services?
Thank you very much for your help today. I appreciate it.
Hey, Marcus. It's already been 10 days, and he still hasn't told us about his condition.
Oh, trust me, you will get to know it closely.
I'm sure he hasn't forgotten. He must have his reasons.
He sure is taking his time, considering the trouble he went to bring us back here. Oh, by the way, this morning I met someone that was here to see Rousseau. I was surprised when she introduced herself. Take a guess who she was.
His mistress?
I'm sorry, I forgot about this. Oh my god, you can't say... Wow.
Very funny. Come on, be serious.
I know him better than you do.
Oh my god, this guy, I swear to god.
Well, it turns out she's the director of Caduceus. She oversees all of the medical research institutions located in the U.S.
She's from Caduceus?
Actually, she seemed more interested in speaking with Professor Wilkins. I wonder how she knows about him. Isn't it strange?
It sounds like trouble, if you ask me.
Dr. Vaughn! Dr. Blaylock! We need you in the OR!
What's the matter, Elena?
3 people were hit by a car. 2 are in critical condition. Dr. Rousseau began treating the one who was in the worst state, but he left to treat a different patient and ordered you 2 to take the ones in critical
Isn't
condition.
there anyone else available? Like an entire hospital or...
We can't afford to waste any time. His life's
I'm
in
pretty sure
jeopardy.
there's like an emergency service for this kind of situation. It's Ricardo Garcia, or Ricardo Garcia, if you pronounce it in my accent. Of course it's not mine, but... Broken lower left costae and damaged spleen. Reconstruct the rib bones and treat the abdominal hemorrhaging.
The patient is Ricardo Garcia, a 35-year-old male. He was in a car accident. He has injuries to the abdomen, including a few broken ribs and a pierced spleen.
Alright.
This doesn't
It
look
doesn't,
good.
trust me.
In this operation, we have several objectives. We need to treat his lacerations, repair his broken ribs, and attend to his spleen.
This will be a difficult operation. No wonder Rousseau took off so fast.
This guy will never stop being a dick.
Well, I'm sure we can
He
handle it.
can.
We've analyzed his blood type and done the necessary screening and cross-matching. We've also got an ample supply of blood on hand. All you need to worry about is the operation.
Alright. Let me look as usual.
I'm ready to start the procedure.
There it is.
Doctor, hurry! The patient's gone into cardiac arrest. You need to use the defibrillator.
Almost. Knocked over my microphone trying to do the defibrillator, sorry.
His spleen's in bad shape, and his vitals are dropping because of
You
massive
won't see it
hemorrhaging.
until we stop talking though.
We'll have to retrieve the bone fragments while treating the injuries and hemorrhages.
We won't be able to suture that big of a
We have to
wound.
close it first.
We'll have to close it first. But
Now, okay. Now hurry up. That takes care of the largest. Doctor,
Oh, my
please be more
hands are
careful.
shaking. It's not the kind of game you want unreliable controls for. I want it there. I think it's because it's the... Oh. crap. Oh dear. This is. Oh god. Oh no. Please. Ricardo, don't bleed like that. Oh god. This poor man. Let's be careful.
We're making progress with the bone fragments.
There we
The
go.
spleen requires immediate treatment.
There we go.
Looks like you got all the bone.
Now that we've taken care of the wounds, we can reassemble the bone fragments.
And now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I think it's over here. It's probably because I'm not very close to the TV, so
It doesn't seem to fit.
the
Could that go somewhere
I
else?
get a little, like it can get a little shaky because I'm not particularly close to the telly. There we go.
So far, so good. We're almost done.
For a big surprise though. I think this goes here. Yeah. Get my wrist. Down square.
What? But that was the last piece.
No, no, it's not, honey.
Don't tell me we missed
Here
a
it comes.
fragment. This isn't good. We'll have to use the defibrillator.
Shit. There we go.
Was that hemorrhagic shock? His spleen was
Here it
bleeding pretty
comes.
heavily. Is that it? No wonder we missed it. Okay, doctor. You know what to do. Check those vitals, though.
Careful. Just gonna get some life juice for the action. There we go.
We've got all the pieces now, but please treat his remaining wounds first.
I don't really mind about breaking my chain because I don't really have the time to make sure everything's stitched properly.
Alright, let's place the last bone fragment.
All the pieces are in place.
It's funny though that they only modeled
Completes the operation.
3, 4, 5, like 7 ribs or something like that, and there are about 11 in the rib cage. I think. I cannot remember
Please
probably.
close him up.
It's been a while since I did biology. If anyone can correct me on that, I would very much appreciate it.
It was an unexpected operation, but I'm glad it went smoothly. Well done, team.
Got a little scared for a second there. I didn't get any special bonuses, obviously. I'll take it.
I see that you were both quite
Where
skilled.
did you come from?
I'm sorry, you are?
I'm Irene Quattro from
Don't
the
take your
Distance.
face mask
Nice to
off,
meet
we're in the middle of a pandemic.
I heard there was an emergency, so I changed into my surgical gown. But I see that wasn't necessary.
Valerie, is this the woman you were telling me about?
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to receive such praise.
A doctor with a healing touch. It's been a while since I've been surprised
I
like
like
this.
it when the game does this kind of thing in which it says, "Oh, you're so amazing, the healing touch is so wonderful to see in person." But I actually haven't used it, so it's like a weird continuity error that really surprises me, and I still find it funny to this day.
If the opportunity arises, I'd like to see
I
it
didn't
used
use it,
again.
ma'am.
I'd be glad to show you.
This is an impressive hospital. I hope that we meet again. Please excuse me.
I don't think it was good for her to have seen that.
What do you mean, Marcus?
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Oh my
Doctor.
god, the baby. What's going on with the baby? That's not how babies look, Atlas.
We were told he wouldn't make it, but you saved him.
I just did my best, Mrs.
Oh my
Garcia.
god, he's taking credit for the operation we did.
Considering his injuries, it's a miracle he survived. He must have an angel looking over his shoulder.
Just shut up, man.
I don't know how we'll ever repay you. Thank you so much.
There's no need for tears. Now, let's discuss his future treatment options.
Oh, as long as he's in your hands, Dr. Russo, I know he'll be okay.
Oh, it's you, Vaughn.
Marcus, he's...
It's not worth getting upset over. The patient is all right. That's all that matters. Professor Wilkins has asked to see us, so we'd better get going.
I suppose you're right.
Dr. Rousseau? Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's nothing.
His face.
Please come with me, Mrs. Garcia. Let's go see how your husband is faring.
So, I heard that Rousseau took credit
As
for
usual?
everything. You must be disappointed.
I mean, how would I not expect that kind of thing?
I'm just glad the patient's okay.
He's an excellent doctor, although rather shrewd at times. And I would never trust him to operate on me. That's why I summoned you here, Marcus. You have a rare talent.
I didn't want to come back.
I'm aware of that. Regardless, we'll meet tomorrow to discuss my operation. The procedure is scheduled for 4 days from now. I'll leave you to choose your team.
Okay.
Whew. Alright. Stigma. Now. Let's see. There we go. Sorry for that. Now, if you haven't watched the first chapter, well, I guess it doesn't really influence in how you understand this particular episode, but there is several instances in the first part of the game that we played a couple weeks back that references stigma, but now we're actually going to get to know what it is exactly.
So, you're finally going to tell us, huh, Professor?
I led you all to believe that I was suffering from a chronic heart disease. But now that my preparations are complete, I will reveal the true nature of my illness.
Dr. Rousseau is on the team too?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but he won't be operating.
What I am asking you all to do is treat an unknown disease. Yes, I'm asking you to face the unknown.
An unknown disease?
By certain means, I received a mouse with an unprecedented illness. It was a pathogen born as a result of gene-related medical research.
This is very important, by the way.
I isolated it, analyzed it, and became deeply interested in it, despite my
I
initial
mean, it is
fears.
weird to talk about this with this current situation going on, but this is important plot stuff.
It was such a unique disease.
Curiosity. Man's greatest weakness.
Dr. Vaughn?
Never mind.
As a member of the medical community, I immediately realized the importance of this discovery. And so I began researching the disease. But before I could complete my research, I myself became infected. Its communicability between animals and humans was quite a surprise.
It's a tragedy for us all, Professor. It breaks my heart to learn of your infection.
Yeah, of course it does.
What was the means of transmission?
It's too late to ascertain now, but it must have occurred while I was researching it. I may have accidentally pricked myself with a needle. My hands aren't as steady as they once were. I don't believe it is highly communicable, but we should still be careful. One thing is for certain. It's not an airborne disease.
And what about your condition? You seem to be rather stable right now,
Playing
Professor.
this right now is a little unnerving, I will say.
I do have some data which I collected during my experiments. It's dormant at the moment, but it becomes active when the carrier experiences stress. Its invasiveness is quite strong, and it's at least as serious, if not worse, than an acute virus or a parasite invasion.
So this operation must be performed right away.
That's why you selected us.
Yes, it is a new disease, so as you may suspect, no medication or vaccine is available yet. Extraction is the only viable option.
Dr. Vaughn, this is a serious responsibility.
Indeed. This disease manifests itself in mysterious ways. I've tentatively named it stigma. We will refer to it by this name for now. But please keep this information confidential. I will also grant you access to my research data, but you are only permitted to read through it.
Infected accidentally? That can't be. That's not its nature.
Oh, he knows. He knows something.
The professor's hiding something.
Foregoing your meditation today? Don't allow this disease to trouble you. Just accept that it's beyond your comprehension.
Should someone with your condition be up at this hour?
I have one more favor to ask of you. That's why I'm here.
I'll save your life. What more do you want?
If for some reason the operation is a failure,
I want you to destroy all of my research data.
then I want you to destroy all my research concerning stigma.
What?
This is to be my research, and mine alone, whether or not the operation is successful. You should have no objections to this. After all, wasn't it your wish 3 years ago that it all disappeared? Well then, I bid you good luck.
Oh boy. Alright. How do you pronounce it? Lloyd Wilkins? Your deceased stigma is present and must be eliminated. Since it's highly mobile, speed and precision are essential.
I've taken a look at the data, but I don't know what to say.
That makes two of us.
The pathogen's mobility is simply unbelievable. Who knows what kind of damage it's
It's
capable of?
interesting too to notice is that whenever we are going to be dealing with stigma or a particularly important operation, the music changes to the original music or theme that was used in the operation briefings in Trauma Center Second Opinion, which is something that I find really interesting.
Based on the data, it's unlikely that medication will be effective, so our only option is to...
Burn it with the laser. That's the only way.
Has there been any change in the professor's condition?
He's still stable. He should have enough strength to endure the operation.
If the professor's data is accurate, then this research will make medical
But he
history.
said he didn't want anyone to share it.
Mistakes cannot be made. I presume you understand that.
Relax. We've got it under control.
Alright.
An unknown pathogen. This should be interesting.
Let's see what we're dealing with.
We are ready to begin the procedure. Based on what we know, we expect that stigma will become active once we open up the professor. Please be extremely careful.
There we go. Let's see what we're dealing with.
Lacerations? But we didn't see any on the CAT scan.
Are you suggesting that the pathogen did this within the last few moments?
We need to suture the wounds immediately and try to prevent any further damage.
Well done, Doctor.
Here it comes.
You cannot... There it is.
My God, look at it.
All right, let's do this. Get the laser ready.
Oops. What? Moving around.
It's working. Keep using the laser.
It's important to make sure that you don't overuse the laser.
It's tearing up his insides.
Because
Can't believe
if
this.
you're not careful, a lot of the tools have like a time in which they become unusable if you abuse them. So you have a cooldown time.
Marvelous. The professor will be...
Wait, he's not stabilizing. We better take another look.
Let's take advantage of this.
Stigma again. But how?
It's two of them as well.
It's still active. Keep using the
There we go.
laser.
Let's close this. Time. That was the consolidator. Worst part is that you can actually feel it
His vitals are
avoiding
dropping. You have to suture the wounds or they'll
the laser
hemorrhage.
sometimes. I hate it. Stop moving around. Oh god.
may need to hit it more than
Oh
once.
shit, minor.
One
to
down,
go.
one to go. Again.
Just give it a second.
They fuse together?
Well, it can't have changed
The
that
thing is,
much.
at least
The laser should still
it
work.
doesn't move as quickly anymore, so it does play in my favor.
The laser seems to be working.
There it goes.
Hurry up and suture those lacerations before it causes more damage.
I mean, you don't have to close the laceration straight away, but it also allows the laser to recover. So it's more up to you as a player to decide when you want to do that. One more should be enough. There we go.
Is that it? Let's close him up.
That was truly a menacing organism. I must begin analyzing the data immediately.
Congratulations, you did it.
It was my responsibility.
Oh, he has some demons he has to deal with.
Is something wrong, Marcus?
No, nothing. I should just be thankful that it
It's
went well.
interesting though that the body of the patient is modeled, like it's 3D modeled, but the actual texture used for the bandage isn't, it's just a straight line. Like, it does save a lot of resources, because it is a hassle to actively be applying a new texture over a texture, so it is more cost effective and people are not going to be looking at it more than a couple seconds.
I'm glad his body withstood the operation. At this rate, it seems he'll make a full recovery. Still, that was a daunting procedure.
I can't believe that such a disease exists. And that we were able to treat it.
I hope this is the last we see of it, though.
I must say, this stigma is certainly an intriguing disease. Doctors around the world will be astounded.
Don't. Oh! Alright, I think this might be the last chapter in the episode, or episode of the chapter. I'm not 100% sure though. So let's give it a roll. I remember this being a pain in the ass when I played as a kid. It was
Oh, he's awake.
2008 since 2020, that was 12 years ago, so I was around 11, 12, 13, something like that.
Professor, can
So
you
if
hear
I
me?
managed to beat it when I was in my tween years, I can beat it now.
Yes. I'm fully
Come
conscious.
on.
The operation was a success. All the pathogens were removed. And your heart is functioning normally.
It was a complicated procedure, but we were able to complete it. Being operated on while you still had your strength should speed your recovery.
Well, Professor, congratulations on the success of your operation.
Thank you.
That stigma is quite a remarkable disease. I never imagined such an insidious pathogen could exist. It amazes me each time I watch the recording of the operation.
Oh.
Recording? Rousseau, I thought I made myself clear. I only gave you permission to read through the existing data.
Yes, that's true, but I thought perhaps...
My orders are absolute. Or are you scheming to steal my research?
It's getting mad.
Don't be silly, Professor. I'm completely loyal to...
I want everything in this room. That includes any recordings and extracted organisms. I won't have them where I...
Professor, please. You must stay calm.
Dr. Russo, can't whatever you have to discuss with Professor Wilkins wait until later?
Yes, well then, please excuse me, Professor.
Please. I'd like to be alone for a while.
Don't worry. I won't overexert myself.
Then we'll return later to explain your status.
Yes. Thank you.
Done fucked up.
We don't have a sample or any data. So how do you intend to study stigma, Marcus?
Are you just going to pretend it doesn't exist?
He's smiling while he says this.
No self-respecting doctor would admit the existence of such a thing, outside of a sci-fi movie.
That's only because they lack the knowledge.
Oh, really?
Do you recall the incident that occurred 10 years ago? A deadly man-made infectious disease spread throughout
Guilt.
the world. It was known as
This
guilt.
is the disease that is the main focus of Trauma Center's second opinion.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that. Is there a connection between guilt and stigma?
Most likely not. The professor has already tested that vaccine on it. It had absolutely no effect.
I guess I can see why Rousseau's so intrigued by it. If he was the one to announce it to the world, he'd become the most renowned doctor in medical history.
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, 2 patients have been added to each of your schedules.
Aren't these Rousseau's patients?
Yes, but he's very busy.
Looks like I better get used to being sleep
Oh
deprived.
man.
It seems Professor Wilkins is on the road to wellness.
But how long will it take for him to fully recover?
The professor's a lot tougher than he looks, you know.
Dr. Rousseau must be hoping he resigns, or at least relinquishes some of his authority.
I heard another hospital has been courting him as well. He's had a lot of visitors lately.
Perhaps he's going to take up a position as a lecturer somewhere. I envy him.
He's the talk of the entire hospital.
For better or for worse, I guess.
Oh, but he's not the only one.
Meaning what exactly?
I've heard from more than one source that someone will be paying you two a visit soon as well. Maybe Professor to-be Rousseau will let you know about it.
That's not really my idea of a promotion.
Well, I'm calling it quits for today. Hopefully tomorrow won't be as stressful.
What about the professor's charts?
He's been updating them himself. It is top secret after all. Speak of the devil. He's paging us. I wonder what he wants.
He didn't mention anything to me. Is that the fire alarm?
Something must have happened. We better go check on the professor.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
I mean...
That man's on fire! We have to help him!
He is very eager to help,
Be careful,
considering
Marcus!
that he's basically engulfed in flames.
Drop to the floor! Hurry! Valerie, isn't there a fire extinguisher around?
Doctor, stand
It's
aside!
Elena, the tiny one, who uses it.
Quick thinking, Elena.
Someone. Professor Wilkinson. Stigma.
Russo, is that you?
Uh-oh. Well, I guess he got consumed in his own pride.
And then set fire.
Hang in there. We're going to get you some help.
He's been badly burned. His life is in danger.
I'll get something to transport him with.
Thank you, Elena. Get the OR ready too.
Look, Russo. Upper left portion of the body is badly burned and requires immediate treatment. I'm taller than this man.
The patient is suffering from burns all over his body, concentrated on the left side. Some of them are third-degree burns, I'm afraid. The burned area covers over 20% of his body. He's in extremely critical condition.
Smells like barbecue in here.
We'll have to use skin grafts. I suggest that we transplant skin from the right half of his body, which has fewer burns.
If we can't use synthetic skin, then that's our only option.
If we inject culture fluids, we'll be able to avoid further damage.
Since we'll be working on third-degree burns, I've prepared some coolants as well. I've said this already, but he's in critical condition. Please, we have to hurry.
Well, I guess I will have to help the asshole.
I'm ready to begin the operation.
These burns are pretty severe. Skin grafts are the only option. We'll have to remove skin from elsewhere before we can begin treating the
The
burns.
worst part about this operation is that it's so time consuming. It takes forever to do this.
I'll get the culture fluid ready for you. You'll have to inject it into the right side of his body, where the skin isn't burned. The culture is taking effect. Please use the scalpel to remove a section of the epidermis.
Once we're ready to transfer the donor skin, we'll do so using the forceps.
You'll most likely need several grafts, so we should collect enough tissue before starting. Let's look for other unburnt areas and follow the same procedure.
The most severe burns have already turned black. We'll need to excise this necrotic tissue.
Dead skin, basically.
Are you prepared to begin debridement? I'll get the coolant ready. Please inject it directly into the blackened tissue. Now, please try to place the donor skin before the wound hemorrhages again. It looks like this area. The affected area is bleeding heavily. We've covered the fluid
The
in
worst
this
part
area.
is that you
Let's go
do
on to
need
another burn.
4 bits of skin per burn. So this is what I mean about it being very, oh my god,
Drain the
being very
blood
time
first.
consuming.
Then, prepare another piece of tissue for grafting. The
Whoops!
coolant won't be effective unless you inject it directly into the blackened area. Vitals have dropped?
Yes, I know. There. That's another one done. Let's try doing. Whoops, this one instead, yes. And I'm gonna prep just 2 more so I can then use the coolant. Maybe while I wait for it to start bleeding again, because it will bleed the moment I
Now,
start using
you can place the X
coolant.
in the area has been debrided, so you can proceed to drain the blood.
That's what I'm waiting for. And this is what I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go.
Get through. Keep it
Let's
up.
continue with this one then. Whoops. There we go. Whoops. I forgot to.
You can't keep moving a piece of donor skin around. You have to get another piece.
Forgot to. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Whoops! Uh-oh. Oh no! Please, please don't start bleeding, please. There we go. Alright, thank God. And this gets a little bit more annoying because I don't have as much space. Just a bit of a bummer right here, honestly. Let's go. There we go. Let's start with this one.
Almost done.
Oh god, I'm running out of time already. Just check the coolant. So what I mean is being so annoying, it's so time consuming. Let's see, I can prep some more. Let's just do the last 4.
There's not much time.
No! We're going to make it.
the treatment. Great work, team.
It's so tedious. That's gonna be my least favorite operation. Whew. There we go. It's done. That's all I care about.
The professor's office is nothing but ashes. Fortunately, no one seems to have been inside. But the professor's whereabouts are unknown, and we have reason to believe, according to what Russo said, the professor seems to have been kidnapped. What did the detectives ask you?
Same things they asked you. What did I see when I arrived at the scene? Did I notice anything suspicious? You know, the usual. Oh, they also asked about the professor's condition. I didn't say anything about stigma, for now. They wouldn't understand anyway.
I can't believe he was kidnapped. What's their motive? They obviously want more than just a ransom.
Let's see something. I'm seeing something on the chat, and I'm just gonna move a little bit because I can't read it properly. Trauma Center is a really difficult game. Couldn't finish it. It is. It can get really unfair really quickly. I cannot blame you. And I have finished this game, but the last time I played it with my older sister in co-op. I think I have never finished it myself. So this is the first time I'm going through a full run. I'm even playing on easy. I'm doing a full run by myself.
What's gonna happen in this hospital? What
I
about
mean,
us?
I really, really love this game, so...
The media is gonna be all over this incident. We won't have time to examine our patients.
Dr. Blaylock, Dr. Vaughn, there's someone here to see you.
If it's another investigator, then forget it.
So done.
Actually, it's the director of Caduceus.
Oh my god!
What?
Long time no see. Regarding what happened the other day, you have my sympathy.
Thanks.
How can we help you?
It's a little complicated, so I'll get right to the point. After seeing the two of you in action, I negotiated with the hospital to have you both transferred to our staff.
Caduceus, baby!
You're recruiting us?
That was the plan, but circumstances have changed.
So what does that mean?
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, by the authority of the federal government, I hereby order your immediate transfer to Caduceus.
I want to be this powerful and confident. Just to force someone to move to my own hospital.
The authority of the federal government?
The decision was made based on the research we believe Professor Wilkins was performing. As skilled doctors and colleagues of the professor, we require your expertise in the U.S. branch of Caduceus. We'll do our best to accommodate any staff member requests you may have.
I can't believe it. We're going to Caduceus.
And that's the end of the chapter.